Hello, I'm just going to cover up the serial number. This is the MSI Vanguard 5090. I did have the Ventus and I did have a Zotac Amp Extreme as well. I'll just do this so I can move my thumb. This is the back plate. It's very nice. Obviously, most of these cards, like with the 4090s, have the open grill on the back. Could probably do with being a bit more open, to be fair, but it's not a problem with this card when it comes to cooling. So yeah, nice back plate. There we go. Let's turn this over so I can do this properly now. Top end, obviously this is going to be RGB and lights up, but that'll be in the next video when it's all installed and I can show you what it looks like, which will hopefully be sometime later on today. But anyway, so had the Ventus, had the amp. Both cards were at the beginning, the lower end of the price bracket. The amp certainly looks better than the Ventus. In-game, both performed the same, apart from the Zotac was better with temps. It was about, say, at least 2 to 4 degrees better on the core and on the memory than what the Ventus was. Downsides with that card is that the fans were not good. They were noticeably louder than what the Ventus was. And the backplate. Now, the backplate is a bit of a strange one because up to a certain power draw, it worked, it was fine. But then when you got to another level, it couldn't keep up with getting rid of the heat. And the problem is that if you were playing a game that had a high demand, after so long, that backplate got hotter and hotter, and it ended up the card got warmer than what the Ventus did. I don't know whether it's the thickness, material, whatever it is they're using, I don't know, but that's what I found. Now, it just so happens about 2 days later, I was online and I was just looking around stuff and I found a channel called, I think it was Frame Chasers, I think it's called. And there was a guy on there and he was talking about the FE and the Zotac card, and he had a heat detector and he found the exact same thing. He was saying that the temperatures on the back plate was crazy on the high power draw, and it was going into the connector and other parts of the card. And that was a concern. And that's what I found. And that's what it tends to be. Again, up to a certain power draw, I don't think it'd be a problem, and if obviously you're going to water cool it, but I think if you're going to use it on high extreme, it's a bit of a worry. So that one went back because of that. The Ventus ticked all the boxes. It undervolted well, everything about it, performance wise, really impressed. Really liked it. Its temps are better than the FE, but obviously it's not, due to the size of it, because it's quite a bit thinner than this card. It wasn't amazing. I mean, most of my high-end games, the core was sitting at something, say, like between 74 and say 76, with an RPM on the fans of maybe say something like 1800, 1900, something like that, maybe 2000. The memory usually sat, again, on high power draw games, it usually sat somewhere between 80 and 84. Now, obviously, the FE is a lot higher than that, and it's scary the temperatures that thing gets up to. But the bigger card with the more heat pipes and vapor chambers and just pure size of things, they had better to ones. But it wasn't justification for the price. Now, as it is, this one got dropped in price, and it was a bit of a bargain. So I ended up sending that one back. But there was another reason why it ended up going back as well, which I'll cover in the next video, because it's quite a surprising thing. Now, as for this card, it's ridiculously good at cooling. I was playing on the same games and everything else, and the fans run slower, and the temperatures are way lower than what the other one was. I mean, the same kind of games, I'm seeing temperatures which were normally in the 70s. I've seen them in the high 60s and low 70s. The memory is, oh God, it's got to be anywhere between, say 6 to 8 degrees cooler on the memory. It's extremely good. I was really surprised. I thought it'd be a bit better, but it seems to handle cooling way better. And it should do. I mean, it's there's a bit more of a price to it, and it's a hell of a lot heavier. I mean, it's way heavier than what the Ventus is, but I do think the Ventus is a good one, especially if you're going to water cool it. That's probably the best one. That's a no-brainer, really. But again, it works better than the FE. It just doesn't obviously keep up to bigger cards as such. This one does have some RGB on the insides, on the fans, and a bit on here, and a bit on the top and stuff. It's nothing amazing, but it's certainly better than having no RGB at all. But yeah, performance-wise, this is overclocked. It's got a higher clock, base clock. But I haven't really messed around with it much. The one thing I have noticed is that it doesn't undervolt as well as the Ventus. Now, the Ventus, I could get it to work at, I think it's about 900, maybe 910. This one, I think it's 935 with the milliamps thing when I'm undervolting it. So, but again, it's bigger, it's overclocked, it's more demanding, it's got a higher clock, so that's probably one of the reasons why. And again, it's a silicon thing, some better than others. But I'm still saving a hell of a lot of wattage, and I'm still getting the exact same performance. But I'll show more of that kind of thing off in the next video about what it looks like all lit up. And the interesting thing I found to do with PSUs, and certainly the Ventus and this card. And it's one of the things where I'm happy I kept an old PSU, but that'll be in the next video now. So that's just a look of the card. You can see, yeah, that bit on there and lights up as well. But so far, I'm really impressed with its performance. Bye.